Well, good morning. We are glad that you're here. If you're visiting with us today, this is kind of normal, but not really. So this is our Fresh Start for Kids band right up here. They were amazing this week. Did a fantastic job. We want to welcome those of you that are watching online, and especially if this is your first time, we're glad that you joined us. Our big missions push all year is Fresh Start for Kids. And this past week, we had that camp. And for those of you who don't know about it, it's a camp that we put on every year for about 50 or so kids out of foster care. And we had the opportunity to do that this past week. And we just want to celebrate that. It was an amazing week. One of the amazing things, I got to tell you, I know you guys got soaked with rain here, right? And we were watching the radar, and it was coming right at us, and it would just go like, and just go like right around. It was like unbelievable. So we had a little lightning issues, but not much rain, and it was pretty cool. So that was great. Well, listen, we are going to play a game. So I need you to take out your phone if you have it with you. All right? And this game is a little trivia from this past week at camp, okay? And we're going to see, who can kind of do the best. So you need to go on your browser to Kahoot, KAHOOT.it. Okay, just go to that right now, and it will pull up. On your phone, little thing that says Game Pin, and where the Game Pin is, you are going to put that number right at the top, 912-3915. And then you're going to put a nickname for yourself, a name that you like to be called by, a name that would be appropriate for everyone to see. Okay? The cool thing about this game, those of you watching at home right now, you can play too. Take your phone, go to Kahoot, KAHOOT.it. You're going to put in the PIN number that I believe is on your screen, but if it's not, it's 912-3915. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you a question. The question's going to appear on the screen, and there's going to be 4 answers to the question that are all going to be color-coded. The 4 colors are going to appear on your phone. You just push the color of the right answer. You do that as faster and before anyone else, and you will get the points for the question, okay? Has everybody got it? It's pretty simple. We're going to give you a couple more seconds to get logged on there. Number of players. All right, looking good, looking good. You can keep logging on even after we start. The first 2 questions are practice, okay? This is practice, no points awarded. So here is practice question number 1. Here we go. Who was the activity director at Camp Fresh Start? Was it red, Jeff Reynolds, orange, Jeff Gore, blue, myself, or green, my wife? You push that color on the phone, and we have 7 seconds left. 20 answers have come in so far. People are moving. Here we go, and time's up. And the correct answer was Jeff Gore. If you answered that right, you would have got the points for that question. But for this question, there's no points. So here we go. Second question, this is also practice. Marissa, by the way, Jeff's wife, who knows he was gone all week, she got it right there at the top. All right, so here's the next question. Who was the chapel director at Camp Fresh Start? You're going to have 20 seconds on each question. Get as many answers as we can. All right, 3, 2, 1, and the correct answer is Jen Welch. Okay, and 15 people got that. Marissa's still in the lead, but no points awarded. All right, now this is live, guys. This is real. This is for all the money right here. Okay, you got it? The number. Can you guys tell me that PIN number again? Can anybody see it over there? 912-3915. 912-3915. 912-3915. All right, here's question number 1. And it is, how many campers were at Fresh Start for Kids Camp this year? Was it 50, 43, 46, or 48? All right, answers are piling in. You want to do it as quickly and as accurately as you possibly can. And here we go. You have 4, 3, 2, 1 second, and the answer is 46. 46 campers were there this year. And Mr. Chase is at the top of the pile right now, all right, for all the money. All right, here we go. Question number 2. Which was not an activity at Fresh Start Camp this year? Was it rocketry, dance, gaga ball, or both 2 and 3? Rocketry, dance, gaga ball, or both 2 and 3. We had a blast at activities. The Rockets, by the way, I'm giving away an answer here. Those things blasted off probably 250 yards in the air. It was unbelievable. We lost several of them, never to be found again. I think they're in orbit. But we had a blast with that. Okay, the answer is both 2 and 3. You might say, hey, we played Gaga Ball. We were there. Yes, but it's not an activity. Okay, it's not an activity during the day, and neither was dance. So it would be 2 and 3. All right, and our point board, James Bond, whoever that is, has pulled into the lead. All right, here we go. Question number 3. How many staff served at Fresh Start for Kids Camp this summer? Was it 44, 45, 47, or 50? Remember, we had 46 kids there, by the way. 46. So how many people were actually there helping us and working? And there we go. The answer is 50. Okay, we had 50 staff. And actually, I'll say we probably needed a few more. But we survived. 50 staff. All right, and the leaderboard, Maya has pulled into the lead. James Bond, you fell off a little bit there. Come on. All right, here we go. Next question. The newest activity craze of 2018 was service team, horseback riding, engineering, or Legos. Which one would it be? Hit that. That should be pretty easy. Pretty easy if you're following the screens this morning. And the answer is Legos. Legos. You know what's amazing about Legos, man? You know, some of these kids have a real hard time with focus and impulse control and all that kind of stuff. And, man, you put them in a pile of Legos, and they are, like, in the zone, man. They're just like, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, here's the next question. Oh, yeah, the leaderboard. DWK's in the lead. What man did more laundry, filled more water jugs than humanly possible? Was it myself, Mr. Jeff Gore, Mike Boser, or Dan Radcliffe, minus the E? Dan Radcliffe. There's quite a bit of laundry to do at camp, as I won't go into the details, but there is some laundry to do there. All right, and it was Mr. Dan Radcliffe. He was unbelievable. We got to give him a hand, man. Let me say this as nicely as I can. We had several kids that we knew kind of get scared in the evening. But the first night, we were dry. The third night, we had the most horrific thunderstorm right as we were going to bed. And I think Dan watched the entire camp, man. I mean, it was like unbelievable. All right, here's the next question. Walgreens employees know this man on a first-name basis. He spent more time at Walgreens than anywhere else while at camp. Was it Jeff Reynolds, Lee Lockhart, Mark Longnecker, or the Picture Man? Which one would that be? He spent more time there than just about anywhere else. Here we go, and the answer is Mr. Mark Longnecker. We probably take 600 to 700 pictures while we're there, and Walgreens gets to know us very well. They're like, what is it? You know, they're handing us boxes with pictures. All right, next question, James Bond. I'm impressed. Right up at the top. All right, next question, here we go. After free swim, everyone wants to see the lifeguard, their bed, dry clothes, the candy man. Here we go. And the answer is the candy man. All right, after free swim, everybody gets to pick a couple pieces of candy. They kind of like that. All right, here we go. Next question. Our theme song this year was Get Up, Get Lost, Get Over It, Get Down. Which one would that be? Get up, get lost, get over it, and get down. All right, here we go. And the answer is 3, 2, 1. Yes, it was. Get down. And we're going to sing it here in just a few minutes. All of you just have no idea. All right, here we go. Haley pulls into the lead. All right, we only got a few questions left. Our memory verse was found in 1 Timothy 5:11, 2 Timothy 5:11, 2 Thessalonians 5:11, 1 Thessalonians 5:11, and pop in your answers there. We're up to 20. There we go. It was 1 Thessalonians 5:11. We're going to see how we learned that very quickly. The entire camp got it in about a day. It was unbelievable. And we're going to show you why in a minute. All right, here we go. Including 2018, how many years have we operated Fresh Start for Kids Camp? Including this past year, how many years have we operated camp? 10, 11, 12, or 13? 10, 11, 12, or 13? Pop in your answers. Here we go. The answer is 11. Very good, very good. 7 people got it. 11 years for Fresh Start for Kids Camp. All right, and the leaderboard shows us that Haley is pulling out. She's still in the lead. All right, here we go. Fresh Start Camp started under what name? Was it Kids Matter Camp, Fresh Start Bible Camp, Camp Fresh Start, Royal Family Kids Camp? Which one did it start under? Here we have, answers are coming in a lot slower on this one. Now they're moving. We have 4, 3, 2, and the answer is Royal Family Kids Camp. It operated for several years under that name before it became Fresh Start for Kids Camp. All right, James Bond back in the lead. Wow. Approximately how much money was raised for camp in 2018? How much money was raised for camp in 2018? 55, 60, 75, $125,000 for camp. And the answer is $55,000 was raised for camp. That is nothing short of an amazing feat. All right, here we go. The leaderboard shows Haley back in the lead. Haley and James Bond are just wrestling it out here. All right, here we go. Next question. In 2019, Fresh Start Camp will run for how many weeks? All summer. 1, 2, 3. Everybody plug in your answers. And the answer is 2. We're going to do 2 weeks next summer. And that's good because if you can't make it 1 week, you can probably make it the other one. That's really an awesome thing. So Haley is in the lead. All right, here we go. We got a couple more. 2 left. How many Fresh Start for Kids Camp staff positions will be needed to fill next summer? If we're doing 2 weeks, how many positions do we need to fill? 55, 110, 138, 220. How many people we need to work at camp? And the answer is yes, 138. I will explain that to you in just a little bit. All right, here we go. Last question. Haley's in the lead. What event is occurring on Sunday, July 15th? That's next Sunday between 1 and 3 p.m. It's the Fresh Start for Kids 5K run. It's the Super Laundry Party. It's the day after the 14th of July. It's 329 days till camp, which is happening. And the answer is That's correct. It's the Super Laundry Party. Listen, between 1 and 3 o'clock next Sunday afternoon, I need some people to join me at the Safety Harbor Laundromat because we're going to take 55 sets of sheets, towels, everything you can imagine, and we're going to invade that laundromat, take it over, and just wash our brains out. So it'll be a great time. It's a great time to talk to other people in laundromat. It's a great time to hang out with friends. So I hope you'll plan to join me because that's a lot of wash for me to do by myself. Love for you to be there. Hey, would you do me a favor? Stand up, find somebody you don't know very well, say hello, welcome them here to Fresh Start today. Whew. There's a lot of oxygen there, a lot of oxygen. I need some right now. All right. What are we doing next? What's next? Okay, yeah, thank you. All right. Marina, you going to help me? Come on. Hey, we have chapel every day, and our theme this year was build each other up. And we were trying to teach kids and us just to be encouraging and build each other up. So we had a memory verse that my wife was the chapel director, and those of you that know where Jen's at right now, she basically taught chapel and laid down and went back to bed and got up and taught chapel, and she was a trooper and a half. But she also taught us a memory verse that everybody got like in the first couple minutes because it was just amazing what she put together here. So Marina's going to do the memory verse for us, and then I think we're all going to get it. It's going to be pretty easy. So it goes like this. You ready?
So encourage.
Oh, hold on. Let's try it again. Here we go.
So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. First Thessalonians 5:11. All
right. Now, hold on. Hold that for a second. So we're going to try that all together. So it's real simple. It's encourage each other and build each other up, just as you, and then you pat the person on the back next to you, are already doing. Okay? First Thessalonians 5:11. All right? So everybody stand up. Let's try that together. Here we go. You ready, Marina? You ready? Here we go.
So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. First Thessalonians 5:11.
Yeah, good job. Awesome. All right, so we want to make that a reality today, okay? We, as you said, we had 46 kids. They ranged from the ages of 5 years old to 14 years old. Every camper had a counselor, their own, so it was kind of cool. And it's really the staff that makes this thing happen. I feel so many times like we're running around getting everything ready, and when we get there, I get to take this big plug and just plug it in the side of the wall, and then it just happens. And the staff just take over, and it's incredible. So I've asked 3 people that went with us this year to share with this. First is going to be Mark Longnecker. Mark was kind of in a support staff role. Let him talk to you about that and just some of his insights. The second is going to be Chrislyn Rosa. Chrislyn, I think this is your second or third year on staff. Third year on staff. The unique thing about Chrislyn, I'll let her share that, she was actually a camper at camp, and now she comes back and works with us. And last is going to be Lee Lockhart, and Lee helps me kind of make everything happen. So it's kind of cool. So Mark, we're going to give it to you.
I'm not used to speaking in front of large crowds, but so I just kind of said a prayer. One of the things that I noticed, I've been a counselor, and then this time it was more of a support staff, so I was doing a little bit of everything and really saw what was behind it all. I'm sorry? So it was, like I said, 2 years ago, did it as a counselor, and I actually was like, let's try the other end of it. And the thing that I saw was so much that goes behind getting this ready. Like anything, you got to have the foundation going first before you can do anything. And that foundation started over a year ago, right after the last camp. And it was the people here within this fellowship that started planning stuff and other counselors making the commitments and the golf tournament. And I mean, Jeff and Scott, I mean, give them a hand. Without them, they're the beginning of the foundation. I mean, they really are. You know, and then everybody else that does everything, helping get the children on the bus, unloading here. And if we're gonna do 2 camps next year, we're gonna need a lot of help. That's for sure. It's a wonderful experience. You know, every time it comes around and I kind of go, it's 4th of July week, I wanna do other stuff. You know what, I didn't do it last year and I wish I would have. Because I was like, I did it the year before, so I'm not going to do it this year. And this was last year, talking about not doing it. And my 4th of July week, my time off, it was nothing compared to doing this camp. I mean, that's all there is to it. What you get out of it. I mean, I had tears coming up just watching the film again. I mean, it's just so emotional and so great. And we do it within our community. You know, this isn't an overseas thing or anything. It is within this. These are people that are in our community, that live in our community, they're growing in our community. You know, it takes a village to raise a family. And when you're part of it, you're part of that village. And that's what's just so, I don't know, gratifying and just really touches the soul. There's a story real quick of a man that's walking down a beach, and there is just sand dollars that have washed up all over the beach. And he's going, wow, look at all these sand dollars. And up ahead, he sees a child. He's like, what's that kid throwing in the beach? He's throwing something back in the water. As he gets closer to him, he realizes he's picking up a sand dollar and throwing it in. The man goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm saving that sand dollar. He goes, there's no way you can make a difference. There's thousands of sand dollars all up and down the beach. And the kid picked one up and threw it back in the water and said, I made a difference to that one. Okay? So and that just really sticks to my soul and my heart. You know, can we make a difference? Yes, we can. We can definitely make a difference. So anyway, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Chrislyn. This is my 6th year here at camp. 3 years as a camper I went, and 3 years as a counselor. Camp just gets better every year. It's something that you can't really explain to someone unless you've experienced it for yourself. I want to say thank you to everyone who's helped for the many years that we've put it together, because it means a lot to me and it means a lot to those kids that you're helping. It takes a lot, and I just want everyone to know, like, it means a lot, you know. I want to share a story real quick about one of the girls who went. She was actually my camper. So we do pool every day. We go swimming, and the first day we were all having fun. We were playing, and I was throwing rings to the girls, and they were swimming, diving down in the deep end, and she couldn't dive down because she wanted to hold her nose. And she would get really upset and frustrated about it because, you know, she wanted to be like everyone else and grab the rings. And I told her, you know, you got to keep trying, you got to keep practicing, and eventually you'll get it. You know, second day comes, still nothing. Third day, she comes up to me with this big smile on her face. Sorry.
You're okay.
She comes up and she goes, look, I did it, I can do it. And it made my heart so happy. So I threw the rings for her. And I threw one really far out, I threw one kind of in the middle, and I threw one right by me. And I'm thinking she's gonna go for the one the closest. She jumps right in and she dives and she goes for the one that's furthest. And she didn't hold her nose, she could do it. And to me, like, whenever she came back up and seeing her be able to accomplish something because I was able to encourage her, you know, that sticks to me a lot, because that's what we're all about. We're about encouraging these kids and, you know, keeping them going and making them have the best week, the best time of their life for 1 week. So, yeah, That's pretty much it. It's really.
I'm going to ask Kristen a quick question. And I know the answer, that's why I want her to answer for you. Camp was big for her, real big, as a young lady and as a foster kid. And since then, she has gotten a heart. And what is your desire for camp and you?
I plan to continue to do it for as long as I can. I plan to encourage many people. I'm trying to recruit as many people as I can. I'm going to be speaking with groups. I'd love to see it grow. I'd love to see more people come, more people get involved, because this is really big. It has a big impact on many people. So.
And you also told me you want to run camp one day. You want to make sure you're taking, Scott, you're out of here, buddy. But no.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. No, but that's the impact camp has had on Kristen, is that she knows how effective it can be for kids in the foster care system and how they need that love, they need that week. And her heart is to make sure, and if she has to run the silly thing, she's going to do it. And I'm excited for that. Thank you, Kristen. And trust me, she will be able to run the camp, okay? She's awesome. Very proud of where she is and growing and in education and everything else. She's done a great job. It's been a pleasure over the last 7 years, I think, for myself to be part of camp. And what I want to share with you are some comments that have been made regarding camp, so you get a little bit of an idea. I'm going to cry, get used to it. Here we go. I asked campers, it's like, why do you like camp? What is it about camp? And some of them said, it's the activities. And I need to understand, some of these kids have never had a s'more. Never had a s'more until they come to camp. Unfortunately, we didn't have them this year because the rain kept coming every night. We couldn't get the s'mores in, and they were upset. But those are the kind of things, plus the activity stuff they've never had opportunity to do and may never get that opportunity unless it's at camp. And we try to offer that to them. They love the activities. They like the food. Believe it or not, this is the best camp food I have ever had. All right, Miss Jackie in that kitchen knows how to do food. All right, so if you're on a diet, just put it aside when you come to camp, okay? But the kids appreciate a good food. But here's some important things. They said they like the counselors because they care about them. It takes a lot to recruit counselors and people to come and spend a week. Like Mark was saying, he should have been there last year. He missed out. But the counselors, the campers love it that the counselors care about them, and they make them feel important. One of the girls, if you saw the video at the very beginning, when we bring the kids up from the bus from here to there, we're cheering them on. And one of the campers said, it makes me feel famous. How awesome is that? One said for last year, it was like, I feel like a rock star, you know? They feel important instead of abandoned or neglected or abused. Those are important things. Those little things for this week make a big difference. They say the first few minutes at camp is the greatest. When I get off the bus and I get to meet my counselor and they're holding signs with my name on it and I get to go to my cabin, I'm at camp. I'm like, that week's here. Some of them, Kristen can tell you, they look forward to that week all year long. That's their hope, some of them, all year long, is that camp is coming in July. They know it's going to be there for them. They had a camper at one point, was in the process of adoption, and told the parents that adopted her, said, I'll let you adopt me, but you have to promise I can go to camp. Does that tell you how important camp is to them? Yeah, big time, big time. I asked some of the counselors, why do you keep coming back? And one counselor looked at me and said, my first year, it changed me. It gave me a different heart for people and for kids, and I cannot wait to come back every year. And I continue to grow because I get the opportunity to work with these amazing kids. And I get to love on them, and I get to share Christ's love with them all week long. And I get to see them smile and have fun and put that world of theirs away for a week. Those counselors get the opportunity. One even said, I get to be empathetic. I get to get in their world and learn about who they are and where they are and how to relate so that I can do that elsewhere besides camp. But I can't wait. Camp is hard. Nobody's going to say it's easy. Camp is hard, and it's hot, and it's crazy, and it's busy. But the counselors say, even though I know it's hard, and at the end of the week I'm wore out, the day after camp, I'm looking forward to next year. I want to be there. I have to be there. Had some counselors say, that I feel glad I can help. I feel glad I can be part of something. One of the most important things I think that's been said from the campers is this, that when I get to camp, I'm with the counselors who care. Sometimes they're firm, but they're fun, but they care. They love me. They love me being at camp. But the camper was saying, when I'm at camp with everybody else I know that's in foster care, I don't feel alone. Because face it, when you're pulled from a home for not your problem, when you're taken out of a home because of abuse or neglect, and you're put somewhere strange for either the rest of your life or for months or years at a time, you're still alone. You might be in a good house, but they're not family. I just talked to a mom who adopted her foster child. I said, thank you. Now he has a home. Even though he'd been there for years, until mom said, I want you to be mine. This is just your foster home. That's what they say. That's what they hear. So for them to come to camp and say, you know what, I don't feel alone. I feel among friends. I feel like people who care about me. I feel people that understand where I am because they're all in the same boat. So all I want to do today is help you understand that your role as a body of Christ here at Fresh Start Church is vital to the impact of these kids. It's vital. Whether you're, like Mark was saying, whether you're helping with the registration, whether you're part of the golf tournament, whether you're stuffing bags, whether you're writing letters. For those of you who did write letters and gave those gifts, thank you. Thank you. Those were encouraging to our staff during a rough week. Whether you're financially being able to support, and if you can't do that, you're here working, or you're giving up your staff for a week. They're gone. They're not here supporting you. Whatever you're doing, whatever part you play from the campers, I say thank you for not letting us feel alone for a week. For the counselors, I say thank you for giving us an opportunity to impact kids' lives and change our lives. And from the leadership staff, we say, please know, we can't do this camp without you. Period. There is no possible way. And we deeply appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table for Fresh Start for Kids Camp. So for everybody involved in camp, if you were at camp, camper, counselor, staff member, please stand. I want you to go ahead and stand now. I don't applaud now. I want you to turn and thank somebody in this church body right now for being a part of Fresh Start Camp. Thank the church members. Find somebody and thank them for being involved at our church camp. And let's give the church an applause and thank you for your heart.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting him go.
And that's just a small bit of what we would say. Let me close off on a prayer. Father, we do thank you first for the opportunity to reach out to your kids. A special place in your heart for the widows and the orphans, and sometimes those in these situations can be both. Lord, we just pray that you continue to bless the Fresh Start Church and their heart for this ministry and their heart for this outreach and their heart for this impact in the community, like Mark was saying, as well as in lives that we'll never know. We'll never know how it will impact this camp has every year on some of these students and families. So we thank you. I thank you for this church body. I thank you for the staff. I thank you for the counselors and the leadership team. And I thank you for the campers and the joy they bring to our hearts and the smiles that they give us that just light us up. Lord, I pray as we start today, looking towards next year. The plans that we're trying to put together, we pray for your wisdom and insight in those plans. And I pray that you'll continue to use this church and this community to impact lives of students that are in foster care, kids that are in foster care every year, forever. But I do thank you for who these people are and what they bring. Lord, we just want to honor you in each camp. So help us to continue to build each other up and encourage each other all the more as we see the day approaching. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Lee. I just want to add a couple things to what Mr. Lee said. First of all, being at camp, I get a lot of phone calls while I'm there from caseworkers and people like that, and also from foster parents. And I talked to one foster mom this week while we were at camp, and I said to her, I said, listen, I just want to thank you for what you do. And I know we have some foster parents here today, and I just want to thank you guys for what you do. And I said, we hope that this week, one of the purposes of this week is to give you a break, to give you a rest. And she said to me, yes, thank you so much. She said, it takes me 2 days to realize that there's no kids here. And then I have a couple days that I can, kind of recover. So that was kind of cool. The second thing I want to say, and Miss Gail, don't hate me for this, but would you come up here for a minute, please? So Miss Gail came to camp with us. Can you tell these folks what you did?
I had a wonderful time and enjoyed it, and probably will be back next year.
Awesome. Well, what was your job?
My job, I was a camp counselor.
She was a counselor, so that means you had how many little girls that you were keeping an eye on?
I had one in particular that was mine, but in our cabin there were 4 girls and 4 adults.
And it was hot,
It was hot.
and it was wet.
We had a lot of rain. It was wet, but for the most part, it did not ruin much.
And you got in the pool like
I got in
9,000
the
more
pool
times than
at
you wanted
least
to.
twice a day.
Yeah. Yeah. I would announce, we're going to the pool, and all the kids would go like, yeah. And all the counselors would go like, another time? You got to be kidding. We're going to the pool again. They wouldn't be that dramatic. It would just be kind of like, okay, we're going. Well, I want to thank you for being there. You were awesome, a trooper. And, some people think that it's only these young whippersnappers that can do this.
Not just for the young. Olders can go too.
We can go too, right? All right, good. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I want to do one other thing, and that is Mr. Jeff throughout the year will call me and he'll say, man, I have like 500 letters to stuff to send out for Fresh Start for Kids. I don't know what to do. And I'll say, call this person. And he'll say, oh, I have these things I need cleaned out. I say, call this person. And throughout the year, it's like, call this person. The same person I tell him to call all the time. She's also the same person that when I say, hey, we need 50 people, give $100, first one. Sponsored a couple kids, put a golf tournament sponsorship together. Unbelievable. Did not go to camp with us, but I'm telling you, Sid, you are on the camp staff. And I want to give you his shirt. So that's a good lead into what I want to talk about next year really quick. This is what's going to happen. If you guys can throw that slide up there. We're going to do 2 camps next year. One will probably be the same week. So those of you that can't give up the 4th of July, you'll have another opportunity. There'll be another week sometime during the year. We got some crazy ideas for the second one too. So hold on to your bootstraps. We're going to need, you guys got to just roll these because I can't. Okay, I can see it up here. We're going to need 139 people to run both of these camps. Okay, some of you might be able to do 2. Some of you might only be able to do 1. I am connecting with colleges, places like that, doing recruiting stuff. We are going to fill that thing with all 139 people because we desperately have to have those people. Now, here's some ways that you can support Fresh Start for Kids. Okay, obviously the first and most important way is you can sponsor a child. That's $32 a month or $384. We need 100 sponsors this year, 100 people to sponsor a child. I'd like to knock out those 100 in the next couple months, to be honest with you. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, you can let me know. You might even say, Scott, I'm interested in doing it, but can't do it right now. I can do it like in January. That's fine. I'd just love to know that you're interested in helping us in that way. There's some other ways. You can play in one of the golf tourneys. We're going to have a couple golf tournaments. Obviously, we have our main golf tournament at Eastlake Woodlands comes up in May. We're going to do a par 3 tournament at Cheval here in a couple months. And we'd love to have people come out and play with that. We're doing par 3 because we're thinking maybe some of our younger folks might be able to play a little bit, have some fun. And last year we did a mini golf tournament where families came and played. It was a great time, and we're going to do that again. So that's a way that you can help support also. The next is you can sponsor a hole or do a corporate sponsorship. Just keep rolling them there for me because I don't remember it. We have some special needs. Keep going. And I'll talk about those as I flesh this out. No, go back. Go back. Okay, so there's 8 ways you can serve. First of all, you can be on the camp staff. Okay, we need counselors. Counselors means that you're going to have one child that is going to be yours. Now, you're thinking, man, that's a lot. You're in a cabin with 3 other counselors and 3 other campers, so there's 4 on 4 kind of thing. You're all helping each other. Okay, it's a good situation. Mr. Dustin, can you stand up for a minute? Mr. Dustin is our archery expert. We couldn't do it without him. He's the man. He breathes, eats, sleeps, thinks about archery all year long, man. He is grabbing stuff. He calls me in the middle of the year and says, man, I got these animals we're going to shoot this year. I was like, cool, I got all this stuff. But I mean, he's thinking about it all the time. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm looking for some people that'll think about some of these other things. We do a woodworking project. Mr. Mark got thrown into that kind of at the last minute. But we need somebody that kind of loves woodworking and would eat, drink, sleep that all year long and help us put that together. We need somebody maybe that knows a little bit about riflery. These kids we're shooting not 22s, we're shooting BB guns. BB guns. We're stepping it up next year. 22s, 9mm. But we're shooting BB guns. But, some of the BB guns, I mean, they need a little work. We might need a new one. I just need somebody I like that stuff. I can teach kids how to do that. I like to eat, breathe, sleep, do that. And you know what? You don't even need to go to camp. I mean, it's helpful if you go to camp. But, maybe you just want to take care of that area. Crafts. We have crafts that go on, and we just need somebody to think through projects and work on that just all year. Drama, dance, the same thing. Photographer. We usually have a person just walks around, takes pictures, 600 to 700 pictures a week, and they have to be very specific, very certain kind of pictures. You like to take pictures? You just take pictures? You don't really know much about taking pictures? We can use you. Coming to camp. Okay, flip to the next one for me. Another thing I need, this isn't even going to camp, I need people that are willing to shop all year long. That are willing to keep their eyes out for when body wash and shampoo and bug spray goes on sale. Because then they're going to go buy like 900 gallons of it, because that's what we need. Instead of us just wait until the end and say, we need 900 gallons, let's go buy it. I mean, if somebody's looking for a list of stuff that I would give them of this stuff that we need researchers. This sounds crazy, but my wife, for example, writes chapel, and she shows some videos during chapel. It took her hundreds of hours to find the videos that she wanted to use for chapel. You like searching the internet? You like looking for things? We can give you a list of stuff that we need. Just research on to make happen for camp. We need letter writers. Mattress Firm is a big sponsor of foster children. I need somebody that's going to take direction. I'll give them direction. Hey, write a letter to Mattress Firm. Let's see if they give us $50,000. I need people that are willing to write letters. We did a thing at Legos this year, and I really could have used somebody, and my fault I didn't grab them. Beat the door down of Legoland until they'll come out and help us. Okay, so we need those kind of people. We need help in the office. Like I said, 500 letters we're sending out. Stuff we need to, we don't do the best job on publicity because we need that kind of help. Marketing and getting things out there. So we need that kind of stuff. Duffel bags. We give each of the kids a duffel bag. It'd be great if somebody say, you know what, I'll take that project this year. I'll make sure that all 50 of those things are filled. You just tell me what needs to be in them. We got all these other people working, bringing their stuff here. I'll get it together. The staff bags that we did, Lee said, man, those were great. Those were amazing, guys, just phenomenal. I'd like to even ratchet that up a little bit because people are, sacrificing like a week of vacation or a week of something, laying that down for these kids. And we have other needs that come up from time to time, and I'm usually sharing those with you either through the internet or here at church or whatever. One of the great needs is we need some people that will join us going out to certain groups and just talking about Fresh Start for Kids. At the end of right before camp, I said, hey, we need 50 people to give us $100. I put that on Facebook. I had it in 6 days. A lot from our congregation, but there were people like from when my dad was a pastor, his church writing me saying, I'll give you $500. Somebody that I'd known from, 20 years ago, I want to give you $500. It just takes some of us continually putting the word out. And there's people out there that are amazed at what we're doing and want to help support it and give money to it. And so we need that kind of help. Like I said, we're going to need 139 people. They're going to say, hey, I'm going. Count on it, I'm going. And I'm going to tell you two stories. One now, one in a few minutes. But I was sitting at the table dinner table, and a little kid looked across and goes, how old are you? And I said, well, how old do you think I am? And there was another counselor sitting there, and I think he was 49, so he let out. He's 49. And the kid looked at me and he goes, you're 51. And I said, I love you. So he called me, the rest of the week he called me 51. Hey, 51! That was my name, 51. And I said to him, I'm pushing 58. I'm pushing 60. And I'm going. I can do it. You can do it. It can happen. And when you can't walk, hey, we got 5 golf carts. They don't always work, but it'll make you look like you're doing something. We got a way to use you, and we need you. So think about those ways to help. Think about other people you know. Think about ways to get other people involved that are just here in this room. We've been kind of beating that drum for a while, and when we go at camp, the counselors. We have a good handful of counselors from Fresh Start, but the majority of people are not here, a part of Fresh Start Church per se. They're coming from all different places because they hear about Fresh Start for Kids and they want to be a part of it. And we just need to keep that out there. Hey, let's pray together. Lord God, I thank you for the privilege of being a part of this camp every year, and I thank you for this congregation. I thank you for Fresh Start Church. The people here who tirelessly and selflessly give of their resources and of their time, their energy. They've given in ways on a golf course and in ways here just sorting out stuff and given financially. And Lord, I just thank you and praise you for what you've been able to, the unbelievable, mighty, eternally lasting things that you've been able to do through this body of Christ. And Lord, I pray that you would just keep a fire burning in us to impart your love and grace to these kids. Lord, we have no idea what happens in their lives. But we do have the privilege of being a part of showing them your grace and your mercy and your love. You are a good, good Father. And we want to worship you as that today. And I pray that this song, as we sing it, will be a prayer as we worship you. And we pray this in your name. Amen. Hey, we're going to take an offering this morning. And if you came to worship in that way, feel free to join us. If you'd like to give an offering to Fresh Start for Kids, you can do that also. But you just give as the Lord directs you, and let's sing this as a prayer. Do you have a seat for a minute? I want to tell you two real quick stories. The hardest part, without a doubt, at camp is lining everybody up and watching them get on that bus. And if you ever want to see a grown man cry, man, that's where you need to be, right there. Because I couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't talk. And neither could any other guys over there. But standing behind me, I just heard some counselors talking, and I heard one of them say, I never knew that I could love this much. And this really hurts. Like saying goodbye to somebody that you have just poured love into like that for a week. Saying, this really hurts. And I thought, wow. I want to tell you one last story. My wife was teaching chapel, and a young man came up to her. He's in middle school. And he said, I don't know what's going to happen to me when I go home. He said, my mom is in jail, and they don't know where my dad is. They think he's homeless. And then he looked at my wife, and he said, have you ever had foster kids? And my wife said, yes, I have. And he said, really? He said, tell me about your foster kids. And so she stood there and told him about all 5 of the kids that she had in her home. And then he said, why didn't you ever adopt any of them? And she said, well, it just wasn't the right time, or I don't really know exactly what she said. And he said, would you think about adopting me? Then he said, you'd want me, wouldn't you? Just think about that. And that's why we spend all year doing this. Let's pray together. Lord God, the message of the gospel is that every person on this planet matters to you. And you have called us to pay special attention to widows and orphans. You have called us, God, to care about people that this culture at times has marginalized. And you have called us as your people, as your sons and daughters, to be champions of your love in their lives. And Lord, that's why you've called us to do this. And so, Father, I thank you for every person that went to camp. I thank you for every person that prayed for us at camp. I thank you for every person that worked in whatever capacity it was to make this possible. And Lord, I thank you that we can celebrate what you've done. And I don't want to get off of that too quickly. I want us to be in a season of celebration. But then, Lord, it'll come the time when it's time to put on the running shoes again and run this race that'll end next summer when we have a bunch of kids and their parents come into this room. Lord, we thank you for the privilege of being a part of your kingdom. We thank you that you use us, and Lord, that you just call us to be your partners. And we give you praise for all that you do. And it's the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ, that I pray. Amen. Thank you all. Celebrate for a week. Gather a little thing of laundry soap and come join me next Sunday, okay? 1 o'clock, Safety Harbor Laundromat. It's going to be a blast. All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday.